Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com. Today is Friday, April the 16th. Yeah, baby, 2010. Okay, the market today had a nice sell-off on Friday. Remember, this is a 4-year chart with weekly candlesticks. So uh, this inverted hammer we're seeing right here on today's candlestick. Hang on, let me get that up there. All right, see right there? That's not a day. That's on the week. Okay. Um, the main thing to take away from that is that it's simply another sign of weakness and another sell signal. So be watching that. The market's not closed yet, so she could, but by the close, actually suck up a lot of that. The market's been pushing back, pushing against the sell signals for the past few weeks here, just ignoring the negative news and moving higher. So it could do that again today. The main thing I want to bring to your attention today, if you haven't watched the past couple of videos on this chart, you need to be watching those. There's some really good information there, and we explain how this trade channel is set up and where you need to be doing your buying, where you need to be doing your selling, and why you cannot break out of this high. Okay, you need to watch those. Now that we know that you cannot break out of this high, we know that somewhere between today and this top line up here, you're going to peak. That is going to form the infamous downtrend like that. Let's assume today was the high. Anyway, I'm not saying it is, but assuming it was, wherever it's at between here and there, it's going to form the downtrend signal, and that's going to put traders on the offensive, and they're going to start pressing lower, and they're going to then wonder whether or not this is going to hold this low. Okay, remember, we don't actually know this low is going to hold. You've not tested that yet. Okay, we are now testing this high, but I've already proven, as yesterday's video, you cannot break out of it. So we know this is strong. This is not going to break. Okay, so we're up here moving along, just pretending like we're going to go up there again when we're not, and then we're going to get slapped in the face and go lower. That's why I'm shorting up here. Okay, so now she's going to move lower on after this rest of the market catches up to reality, and she'll go lower, and that's when the game's going to get interesting. The thing that's holding this floor right here are three items, two of which control the third. First off, unemployment. We assume unemployment, we've seen the worst of it. Number two, housing, real estate. We assume, that's why we're bouncing here, that we have seen the worst of it, that we're seeing a bottom in housing. Problem is, we're getting report after report after report that are showing those two items, both unemployment and housing, is getting worse, showing signs for a second, in the case of housing, to go lower, and in the case of unemployment to go higher. So both of those items, if they give way, then we know that we have not calculated in the worst case scenario. Okay, so we need to start revaluing stock prices, and that's what will happen. That's what will bring this down lower. Having said all of that, the third item that you want to watch is consumer spending. But again, if housing goes lower and unemployment goes higher, consumer spending will become even less. Today's news that came out and started the sell-off on Friday was on consumer sentiment. The consumer spending was a lot worse than they thought. So it showed a lot more weakness. Again, these are three major players, three major items in this market that you have to be paying attention to. I know the media keeps telling you about Intel. They beat Q1 of 09 this quarter. Well, that's apples to oranges, guys. Back in 2009, people were literally burying cash in the backyard, okay? They're not doing that now. So, yeah, you're going to see a little bit of improvement comparatively, but the main items, the support, the floor, the foundation of this overall market, if that gives way, you can kiss this little bump higher goodbye. Remember, this is the same setup we saw back in 1929. She sold off substantially. She bounced the next year. She went higher, up to 20 or 30% of the previous high, and then peaked in April and sold off lower, and did not actually recover until 25 years later. This is not a new game here, okay? Technical analysis doesn't lie. The signals are all here. I got a comment on one of my videos asking why I'm not going long, because that's not what the chart's saying, telling us to do, okay? The chart is saying you've crossed this line right here, baby. It's time to be looking for the sell and the short, because you're going to pull back to test this, and this on the up here is your selling area. This is your buying area. Why would I be long here? Because the market's going up. I don't care. All right, do not follow the crowd. I read the chart, plain and simple. But thank you for the comment. Keep them coming. I noticed earlier this week people were talking about the Dow Jones Industrial Average hitting 11,000. Yay! It means nothing. It's absolutely worthless number. Maybe a psychological number because it goes from 10,000 to 11,000, but there is no resistance at 11,000. There's nothing there to be concerned with. We do have a little bit of resistance at the 200-week moving average. This red line right here. It's running right here. Okay, that's what we're bouncing off of on Friday. So be watching that. If that holds the resistance line, that's very bearish as well. I also have one here at 11,867. That's this previous high right here. This little blip up to the upside and pulls back down. Okay, that high there is also a resistance line. We've got another one up here and here. We'll get to those later. For now, let's just be focused on these are the actual resistance points we're seeing right now is the 200-week moving average on this chart and again at this 11,867. Those are important items because we know we're going to peak somewhere from here. We don't know where, but we know we're getting there. And with this inverted hammer we're seeing today, that's telling us it's closer than it is further, okay? So be watching that. Again, we're going to pull back. I want to tell everybody, I can't tell you what to do. I can tell you what I'm doing. So I'm going to be shorting up here and I will be buying down here. How and what I short up here and how and what I'm long down here is going to be dictated by the fundamentals that I'm going to start discussing with you, okay? Every day I'm going to do an analysis on this chart or another chart, but I'm going to show you the 4-year chart. I'm going to explain to you why certain companies will actually break out to new highs and why others will never see previous prices, okay? For example, the more we know, the more we make because we're able to use that information to stack the odds in our favor. If I'm going to be shorting up here, I want to be shorting companies with bad fundamentals, not companies with strong fundamentals, right? Right. Because that's going to improve the potential for both the downside as well as the odds of my success, okay? If we know credit is stricter at banks now, how is a bad company going to walk into the bank and say, hey, I've got really bad fundamentals. Can I have some of your money? They're going to say, no, go away. They would have said yes yesterday, but not today, not in this market, okay? So we're going to start using this information to build a strong portfolio, okay? When we're up here, we're looking for the junk to short. When we're down here, we're looking for the quality to buy. Regardless what you do, I need you to refer your friends. We need your support, okay? Add us to your, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is free. Just click the little button, subscribe. That helps us when you do that. It also allows you to get every one of our videos in your inbox each night. Also, go to our Facebook page and become a fan of that page. That helps us with your advertising. People see it on your page and they're like, hey, who is this guy? And they go over there and they check us out. We appreciate that, okay? Last but not least, we have made our website 100% free. We encourage you to go there, see what's in my portfolio. We'll do analysis on that later as well. But the one thing that we ask that you refer one friend. Just simply say, hey, Carl, go to perfectstockalert.com. That guy's insane, but he's right. Enjoy your weekend, and God bless, and thank you again for making us as successful as you have. Let's not forget the disclaimer, okay? The information provided herein is you can read. All right, do your own due diligence. I'm just here to help. God bless.